Hi everyone, I'm Praselma Igwe, the Anointed Teacher. Today I will be talking about how to support a special need learner as a mainstream class teacher. Now, what are the type of special need learners that we have? We have those with learning disability. It is called SPLD, which is special learning disability or learning difficulty. We have those with autism and ADHD. So how do you support children with SPLD? First, we have types. Anyway you hear SPLD or anyway you hear learning difficulty, you know that it has to do with the DYS, and this means is a medical term that means difficulty. So dyslexia is a child that have difficulty with processing language. Okay, the brain part of the that processes their language is this. For a child that struggles with dyslexia, that struggles to spell, to read, to blend, to segment, what do you do with a child like that, or how do you support a child like that? Yes, there are pull-out sessions where you have to pull out the child for, let's say, 15 to 30 minutes, but before then, how do you support that child in the classroom? Supporting that child in the classroom means there's something we call accommodation or adaptations, modification. You modify the child's work and you accommodate that child in any topic you're taking. For example, you are teaching your children how to read words or passages with sound O. You know that the child won't be able to read. So how do you help that child? How do you modify the child's topic or subject for that day? If others are reading, what you just do with the child is print out words or write out words that have sound O. You might tell the child to even just write sound O. Then look for objects in the classroom that have sound O in them. Tell the child to form words with letter stencils that have sound O in them. Play games with sound O while others are reading passages. So the child might only just listen during the reading activity, but the child is not expected to read along with them. The child might answer questions if the child is good at comprehension, but if the child is not good at comprehension, how do you also help that child? What you do is, for every line you read in a sentence, make sure you are asking that child what the child understand, or asking the child a question. Is that simple? You say, oh, not every passage has. Now, for example, Queen Premier, as small as Queen Premier is, when you say, oh, a fat cat. Now you ask the child, the cat is what? The child tells you the cat is fat. The cat is fat. So it means that the child is knowing or learning that, oh, in every line, I should open down my ears because there's something to learn in every line of the passage I read. Not just reading it as a word. Because children with dyslexia tend to read some passages as words, not as a story, not as something to answer, not as a meaningful passage. They read it just as, wordplay. So ask questions in every line. It has worked for me over the years, over 18 years now. It's been working, so that will work. So if it is, you say, this child, when he learns something and he comes back, he forgets. That is memory retention. It's executive functioning and cognitive skills. So what do you do with children like that? First, check what they eat. Tell their parents to remove sugar from their diet. Let them infuse omega-3 meal, magnesium and zinc. Meal that has those nutrients is what they should eat more, and remove processed food, junks, and sugary food from the child's food. It helps with memory retention and building up their cognitive skills. Okay, so when you give children like that activity, what do? You give them activity reinforcer. Okay, for example, you said, you're talking about water animals. You've given them water animals in the classroom. And when they're going back home, do you know they will forget when they come back tomorrow? So what do? The assignment should be write out or watch a video that has to do with water animal. That's why you need to know the child's likes and dislikes. You need to know the child's hobbies and the child's skills. So if you know the child loves to draw, tell the child to draw water animal from their house. Okay? Draw water animal. Then you can tell the parent, if you want to include the parent, because most time you have to include parent, collaboration works. Collaboration is key when working with children with special needs. So when you tell the parent, get toys, water animal toys for this child, 1-5 you will get something. Now tell the child to throw it into the water and let the child use the hand to press, because it's plastic, so it might be floating. So let them put it as a push and say water animal. When you throw it in it, they mention names. It might just be 2 or 3. The others might say, you might tell others answer questions. What animals are this? What animals are that? But for that child, what you just do is practical assignments, practical exercises, hands-on activity. That is what the child will remember. Okay, so now if it's a child that has mathematics, that's dyscalculia. Yeah, that's a child struggling with mathematics. Some are not fear, some have mathematics phobia. Dyscalculia is not a phobia. Dyscalculia is like the child, that part that has to do with formulas, that has to do with calculations, that's your memorization, is not functioning. So what do you do? How do you help that child? Start with daily activities, things that the child can see around them. Oh, you have 5 pencils. When I take away 2 pencils, how many will be remaining? Okay, start with practical works a lot for children with special needs. Visual works more than written activity, more than you just talking. You need to show them. That is why you need to know the type of learner you have in your classroom. Is it kinesthetic learner? Is it a tactile learner? Is it a visual learner? You can infuse that to help that child progress on time. And then if it is a child that struggles with handwriting, you need to know, okay, is it that the child hates to write? Or is it that the child feel pain while they are writing? Is it that the child have poor motor skill? Is that the child have poor, the gross skill is low? So you need to start activity. So before you start writing, first you need to, like I talked before, I mentioned before, adaptation, modification, and accommodation. You need to know, okay, while others are copying large notes, what you have to know is you need to print out the note for the child, then fill in the blank. Child just fill in the blanks on what you want the child to learn. Okay, so now when it tells you writing activity, you need to first practice your piano writing activities. It's a whole lot. We have over 20 piano writing activities, over 20. For example, you're trying to build a child, tearing of papers is a piano writing activity. Wheelbarrow work is a piano writing activity. Pushing your hand against the wall is piano writing activity. Opening of food flags is piano writing activity. Erasing is piano writing activity. So all this will build the writing skill of that child. Then you now move on to fluency, like when the child writes, how fluent is the child, how smooth is it, and then it's me to speed. Okay, so don't actually say, you must write Nelson, you must write cursive, you must write. It should just be neat. The child should know the letter formations. Okay, so those are steps. And I can't say all that because my time, I was given a limited time. Then the other one is dyspraxia. Dyspraxia is speech. When a child is talking and you can't hear clearly, a child of 5 years is saying titit. Child 5 years is saying, what's your name? And say, name, and you're not hearing clearly. Okay, so that affects a child's speech. So what do? We call it oral musculature. The child oral musculature is not well developed, so you have to do oral exercises. You have to, don't correct the child in everything that is saying. No, it will make it will build the child's low self-esteem. So instead of that, what do? When the child talks, you say, oh, you mean this? Oh, you were saying this. So you said the correct word. Now you might be saying the correct thing, and when the child is still repeating, the child will still repeat that same thing. Don't worry. Okay, now the child, you ask the question, is the child on sippy cups? You should take the child for speech therapy, or you can learn how to do speech therapy. Okay, not that you're using it professionally, but at least learn how to do oral exercises like blowing. Yes, blowing of candle. It builds the oral musculature. Massaging of the throat. Goggle. So those simple activities. So what you need to learn basic skills. Even if you are not a special educator, learn basic skills. It will help you a lot and give you an edge over other educators. Imagine you know how to do oral exercises. Imagine you know how to do prayer and writing activities. Imagine you know the basics of morphology. Imagine you know how to work on a child with dyslexia. Not phonics. I'm not talking about Johnny phonics or diction. No. Working with a child with dyslexia takes more than you knowing phonics. It takes more than Montessori. You need to know a lot, okay? But the lot, you shouldn't know deep, but at least know the basics. The basics will help you transform a child with special needs. Then if the child is hyperactive, what do? Definitely know that child can't sit still. So give the child tasks to do in the classroom. The child should be the one cleaning your board. The child should be the one sharing books. The child should be the one arranging your table for you. The child should be the one distributing pencils or writing materials. The child should be the one looking out for others that are making it in the classroom. And when you are teaching, make sure that you're close to the child, so you can always call the child that, because children with ADHD always zone out unconsciously. So you keep tapping the child. What did I say last? What did you do? You can bang the table, you can touch the child, and when pastors speak, the way they tap people, you can tap, so the child will always come back. Yeah? And like I said, children with ADHD, you need to work on their diet. Then for autism, you need to know what the child's sensory processing issues. Oh, is the child is the child sensory to light to sounds. So you know, okay, I can't come close to this child, should I not come close? Sensory to touch, auditory, visual, physical. You need to know. Okay, and if child does not have speech yet, you know that the only thing you need to do is to be teaching child with visual. So while you're teaching others, you're bringing out pictures for the child to touch. The child is working more with pictures, with social stories. And the top, you need to be patient. Be patient. Be passionate. Be calm. Okay, be understanding. And be their friend. Build bond. When you build bond, any child will learn. And like I used to say, every child will learn if you teach them the way they want to learn. So it's not about your expertise, it's not about your certificate, it's not about your experience. It is about how well you touch the life of every individual that passes your hand or that passes through you, because they are all different. No child is the same, no learner is the same. Once again, I remain Empress Thelma Igwe, the Anointed Teacher. I love you all.